na 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 ya na 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 Shabbat Shalom. And Shana Tova, it's still a new year. Lauren, would you light the candles and offer us a reading on page 3? If you have a book, bring it up. It's so appropriate that you're lighting these candles on the Shabbat Shuvah. Lauren, of course, is chair of our Religious Practices Committee and has done untold things to put these holidays together and keeping us together. So thank you so much, all while packing up your house and moving. Either one, this one or that one. Yes, please. Ben, you want to accompany us and you'll sing with me? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Thank you. We turn to page 5 and we bring in this transition of the day with the sweetness of grape juice and wine on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'mahaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim. Turn to page 24. We welcome those Shabbat spirits, that double dose of spirit that descends on us as Shabbat comes in. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So we said shalom to those better angels. We need to say shalom to each other. Shabbat shalom. All right, so I'm so delighted to meet Wendy. I mean, you're like part of the woodwork, but it's the first time I'm meeting you, so wow, that's so amazing. What's that? So everybody needs to meet Wendy. Has everybody met Wendy, who's Erwin's sister? Right? Seth and Jordan and Lauren. Yeah, okay. And Seth, you know Jordan? Yes, everybody knows everybody. Good. We're too small a group for everybody to not know each other. Good, good, good. So now we know each other. We can rejoice. Put your finger in page 44, because we're going to flip over there after we start on page 13. Yismechu Hashamayim. Last paragraph. Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Now you know, you sing with me. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umelo. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umelo. 44. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Sing that with me. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shvi Shabbat, Kulam Yisbehu, Ve'yitangu metuvecha, Shabbat Yismehu, B'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. It repeats, Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Ve'ashvihi ratzita bo v'kiddushto Shabbat, Chemdan yamim, O tokarata Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat Bekorei Oneg Shabbat Zecher L'maseh Bereshit Shabbat Zecher L'maseh Bereshit Shabbat. This brings you into Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat Bekorei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat. I don't know, sometimes it's just not Shabbos till we sing that. Okay. Page 22, a psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor shir liyom HaShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon. Let's go do it again. Mizmor shir liyom HaShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker hastecha ve'emunatcha ba'alelot alei asor ve'alei navel alei higayon bechinot. Back up to the top. Mizmor shir liyom HaShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lizamer l'shimcha elyon. L'chadodi, come my beloved, to greet the bride, the face of Shabbat. Page 20. We're going to do the first, second, fifth, and ninth stanzas. Yai, 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 lecha dodi likrat kala, yaranai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekavela, yai, 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 lecha dodi likrat kala, yaranai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekavela, na, na, Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, ishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem ultiferet belitila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yaranai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yaranai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavatila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yaranai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabela, rai, rai, rai. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yaranai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabela. Fifth stanza. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech kumi ori. Uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, yaranai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabela, rai, rai, rai. Lecha dodi likrat kala yaranai, yaranai, yaranai. B'nei Shabbat, nekabela, please rise. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha, u'v'tzola, toch emunei, am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala yaranai, yaranai, yaranai. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yaranai, yaranai, yaranai. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please remain standing for the Baruch. That was our official warm-up. We feeling warm yet? Now our liturgy tells us we're ready to really pray. Call out praise. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai nai nai, yai nai nai nai, nai 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 nai. Page 30. The darkness rolls in, the day rolls out. Yai nai 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 nai. Ooh, this is a nighttime one. Slow it down a little bit. Nai 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 nai. חוכמה פותח שערים, ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמורותיהם, ברקיע כרצונו. יא נא 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 everlasting love. Ooh, give me a couple notes there. You'll sing it, I'll read it. Everlasting love. You offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Ahavat olam. Everlasting love. Torah u'mitzvot, hukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shokvenu uv'kumenu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yamenu, orech yamenu, negei yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. Ve'avatcha tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch ata Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ug'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'vihisharecha leman tizkeruhu nasitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kerushim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem emet. Let's read together on page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you're rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. And all this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us, that you alone are God and we are Israel, your people. And they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously, as we do now on page 40. Micha Mocha. We have the text. kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamoch eda b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei pele, nora tehilot osei pele. Malachutecha ra'uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Eli anu ve'ameru, ze Eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Ya ya na 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 ya na 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 ya na 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 ya na 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 ya na 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 ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב גאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Hashivenu. Hashkivenu. Ooh. 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. You keep that going. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, L'Shalom. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, L'Shalom. Hashkivenu, Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. We rise for our private audience with eternity. Page 46. Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely. Open my lips to good words, to pure words. Open my heart to love. Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Open my lips to good words, to pure words. Open my heart to love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. וחוטפנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. וחוטפנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים, אתה רב להושיח, מוריד אתה. מכלכל, just know the high holidays, מכלכל חיים וחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אב הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים. ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני המלך הקדוש. I invite you to continue your Amidah prayer privately between pages 54 and 60, and we will meet back when we're all finished. Please take a seat when you're finished. actually going to do on page 60, there's an insert for Shabbat Shuva I'd like to do. Besefer Chaim, it's on page 60 for Shabbat Shuva. Bracha v'shalom ufarnasa tova nizacher v'nikatev lefanecha anachnu v'chol amcha beit Yisrael lechaim tovim u'shalom. We sing that together? Besefer Chaim bracha v'shalom ufarnasa tova nizacher v'nikatev lefanecha anachnu v'chol amcha beit Yisrael lechaim tovim u'shalom. Baruch ata Adonai osei hashalom. Let's read together on page 60 at the bottom. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and every moment with your peace. In the book of life, blessing, peace, and prosperity, may we be remembered and inscribed by you. And we and all your people Israel for a good life and for peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who makes peace. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimroma Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen. So there are always words that we put out there. So many words. This book is full of words. Some we understand, some we don't understand, but we know what it's like when we're hurting for somebody else. When somebody's hurting, when they need healing, they're down, they're not well, they need to see light. And we hold them right here, and that's what we wish for them. So why we will do what we always do, which is call out the names of those for whom we pray. Let's just take a moment and visualize them and send them light as we get ready to sing the text on page 253. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing and let us say, Amen. This week we're remembering, holding in our hearts, Millie Rottenberg, Howard Simon, Gittel Bat Chana, Gloria Berkowitz, Bernice Portney, Kreindl Bat Yehudit Sharon, Kathy Gale, Florence Wellen, Beryl Ben Sima Vashmuel Leib, Ephraim Andrade, Enrique Duchitanga, Devorah Bat Yocheved, Sholem Avram Ben Golda Yeshayahu, Myrtle Cupid, Michael Rosenblum, Leanna Mae Babcock, Leonard Kaminer, Maury Stearns, Brian Clark, Novita Ruffin, Lori S., Harav Miriam Yael Bat Sarah Yitzchak, Maxwell Zwain, Menachem Mendel Ben Yehudit V'Michael, Tovia Ben Bela, Dwayne Charleston, Richard Foran, Sandra Mayers Chaikin, Johanna Bat Sarah, Joanna Tartikoff, Sephora Yocheved Bat Avraham Eliezer Yehudit, Arthur Fulop, Eliezer Ben Rachel, Dora Montserrat, Jeff Galvani, and to those names, these names we add, Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha yavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. I see on the cue sheet it says Sermon Ben. No, I didn't expect you to do the sermon tonight. It's an old cue sheet. Didn't know if you were getting, sorry. With high holidays, Shabbat is sort of being, it doesn't get short shrift, but the planning, we say, oh, we do this every week. High holidays we don't do every week. So, Shabbat Shalom. My birthday, which is not today, falls on one of those days, November 22nd. You know what I'm talking about, right? It was my first birthday, so I'm too young to remember or to be part of the generation who can tell you exactly what they were doing and where they were the moment they heard that JFK was shot. It's the same for the generation before that, right? December 7th, 1941, right? When everyone alive knew exactly what they were doing when they heard that Pearl Harbor was attacked. Tomorrow is one of those days. It's the 20th anniversary, of course, of the attack on the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and that disastrous crash in Pennsylvania. This is our generation. The day in which almost 3,000 people lost their lives. And 20 years is significant. It's a half a generation. It's long enough to really be able to reflect how it changed us. And since we are in the season of reflection, I thought that's what we might do. Just reflect and really have a conversation and think about what's changed, mostly in us, but anything else that comes to mind. But before we do that, I'd love for all of us to, and I'm going to sit down. This isn't a sermon, this is a conversation, really. What do you remember from that day? Where were you? Tom? So you could see it from your windows. Hmm. Yeah. Like you knew. Hmm. Wow. Wendy, did you do something? Can you go off? Right. Yeah. You just wanted your kids. I remember that. Yeah. Wow. Mm. 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 Right. Right. Yeah, you always have. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
it was the first day of classes, and my husband, my ex-husband, but he was my husband at the time, called me. He was working in Manhattan, and he said, "Turn on the television. An airplane just hit the World Trade Center." And I turned it on, and I'm watching TV as the second plane hit. And I called him back. I said, "Get out of New York, come home, just pick up your stuff, come home now." Because it's like you could just, that was not an accident. And he got home around 10:30 that night. So, yeah, getting out of New York took a really long time. And I had the same experience. I went to the school. I want to get my kids. They weren't letting anybody out. I had to wait, that was a nail biter. But my synagogue at the time, Congregation B'nai Jeshurun, I don't know how, but we were enlisted as, we were able to become part of the team downtown. And I was there 2 or 3 days, all day. I don't think it was the next day, but I think it was the day after and the day after and the day after. And my job, our job, there were a handful of us, is that we were in this church, that big church, the really old one. I'm not remembering which one it's called, but the very old church. And this is where all of the donations from all over the world and the country were being sent in. And our job was to make sense of all of these donations. We were to figure out, okay, gloves here, boots here, and we were setting up like this makeshift department store in the middle of this church. And then after we did that, back and forth, we would take all of the boots and we would we would go like actually right there to where the edge of the whole mess, because as the first responders, the firefighters would need new boots, we'd be like, okay, what size? So we were like on the street shoe, and so we would be handing out all of these supplies with it. It was boots, and then we had other things there that didn't need sizes, like gloves and stuff like that. It was incredible to be able to actually feel like you were able to help. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. 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 Yeah, Seth. You worked where? Uh-huh. Mm. Mm. Mhm. Mhm. Hey, Jordan, how old were you? What do you remember? Right. Mm. Mm. Right. Yeah. Ben, where were you?
Beth, I was thinking of a lot. Starting a career, living in New Jersey. Essentially living where my parents live, and I was supposed to go to the city that day, and my dad was supposed to give me the whole trade center. He's consulting in Hoboken, and he's consulting in building number one or two on private floors. He wouldn't have been around. And he still, I think, has the email that says, "Hey, we need you on September 11th," because he just said yes to other consulting jobs in Hoboken.
Huh.
And justifies it like, "Oh, I'll see you on September 12th." He said it something like that. And I was in an Orthodox Jewish boy band at the time called NASA. There's five of us, and the choreographer was this Israeli guy. And it was like, I don't know, 8, 9 in the morning when it happened, and my mom called on my home phone. I don't think I had a cell phone back then. She called like my room phone, and she's like all Jewish mother. It sounded like she was overreacting. Like, play this Pinocchio, play it. I was like, all right, mom, yeah, okay. Things happen. I go back to bed. Right? She calls again. She's, no, I'm trying to dream. I'm sleeping, mom. You gotta come to the city in like 2, 3 hours. We got a rehearsal. Turn it off now. I was like, I turned around. I see this smoke. I never forget this smoke. I saw it, just like the smoke coming out. I was like, what is this? Yes, my mom doesn't exaggerate all the time, you know? And then, like, the building comes down. I remember seeing this building come down. And I was like, is this real? Like, you're showing me thinking, like, this can't, no. This isn't, there's like Twin Towers. How is this happening? And it became more and more real. And, my mom said, your dad was, he's okay. And it was like, he was watching from the other side.
Mm.
And, yeah, so many tensions. And I remember the Israeli choreographer was he's a officer in the IDF, and so he's American, he's a dancer too. And I said, yeah, I can't come to rehearsal today. He's like, yeah, I think so. And he was, at first I was like, why is he not reacting bigger to this,
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we have rehearsal tomorrow. Like, and I was like, what? How can you say that? Like, rehearsal tomorrow? What are you talking about?
Because he's Israeli and that's how they live.
Yeah. I didn't understand.
Yep.
Now, like maybe like 5 years ago, now I really get it. Having lived there before.
Yep. Dinner. Yeah. 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 Thank you so much for that, because that actually segues into the question I wanted to ask. But yes, that was one thing for me. It's like we as Americans, for that short period of time, finally viscerally understood what Israel lives with every single day. And so, do you want to know like why Israelis are how they are, right? It's like they're going to barrel through. What did he say? They're not going to steal my joy. I'm going to live and I'm going to do good, and they're not going to, otherwise they win. So yeah, I remember feeling that, like, oh yeah, now we get it. We'll forget. We forgot, but for a little while we remembered. But yeah, this is the other question that I wanted to ask. So what is different for you? Not the country, for you. What did you learn? What changed for you from that since then? We were impervious before, right? Now we didn't feel. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I remember like we went back, but then people in like these far-flung places were like, they were more conservative and more worried than we were. I remember having like friends in Virginia, like, how can, we're not doing anything, they're going to come here next. I'm like, you're in Virginia, this happened like right here, and we're living, we're going out, it's like we're coming back. And yes. Yeah. Yeah. I remember this very powerful feeling of community. Remember that feeling of like like love, and we are in this together, and whatever you need, we were there for each other, and like really conciliatory and peaceful and friendly for a little while. Yeah. What else? What's changed for you? remember really spending a lot of time thinking about, meditating on, and really doing self-reflection on us and them. We, who are Americans, or not even Americans, like who is the us? Because who did that to us, they were definitely a them. And I remember really looking at my thought pattern about needing an us and a them, and thinking about who before I would think of as a them but not an us, and how wrong thinking that was. In our right. Well, before 9/11, I had this idea of who the thems were in our society, and I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about it. It was in my subconscious. But that event for me got me thinking about where that came from. Why do I think that way? And who did I think was not an us? And how they really were an us. And who was a them? And it was a real watershed time in sort of my growth, or my thinking about othering people, or thinking about who's in, who's out, who's part, who's not part of. It caused a real soul searching in that, and it continues. But yeah, there were, and it was all like there were people out there that wanted to do America harm. So then who are Americans? And then we are, and then all the people that were like not really part of, but they were. It was a, when I think about sort of what that triggered in me, and how I thought of the world and a reality map, that was something that. Right. And is there a need to have a common enemy? And can you do without a common enemy? No, it's amazing to sort of watch that dynamic, right? In any sort of situation, whether it's an interpersonal situation, who's on the ins, who's on the outs, and how you can develop real power is not the word, but strong camaraderie when you've got something out there that you have to fight against, right? And then when you don't have that, then you fall apart from the middle. It's right, exactly. For 10 minutes, George Bush, right. Anything else that you remember in sort of your thinking, or how things changed in your life? Yes. We didn't need a passport to go to Canada before then, or to Mexico. Now you do. What's that? All right, now you can't bring peanut butter on an airplane. This is kind of wacky stuff. Anyway, I also remember one of my favorite stories. I tell this all the time. A friend of mine experienced this, that somebody was running from the buildings and encountered somebody who was obviously an Orthodox woman, Orthodox Jewish woman, and this person like accosted her, and with real rage he looks into her eyes and he says, "Where is your God now? How could your God allow this?" Where is your God? And without skipping a beat, she looked in his eyes and she said, right here, right now. God is right here, right now. Look around you. Human instinct is when there's danger, you run the other way. You run away from danger. But look at how many people are running to help. Look at how many people are reaching out to try to rescue, to try to help, to try to bring people home. That's God right here, right now. That to me was a pretty powerful moment. Anyway, didn't escape me. Did anybody read the piece in the newspaper that after 20 years of war, Afghanistan's last Jewish person left this week? He left. His name is Zebulun Simantov, and he was the last Jew known living in Afghanistan. And according to the Washington Post, which is where I first read it, Exactly. It's like there's two Jews left, right? And they can't even get along. Anyway. Yeah, and he wouldn't give his wife a get, and so he couldn't go to Israel because he was going to face charges. So he's a real charming guy. To an undisclosed location, a place where they were going to be safe. I think, though, it's worthwhile noting, though, that the Afghanistan Jewish population used to be at about 40,000 not that long ago, late in the 19th century. Of course, like many of the countries in the Middle East, the Arab countries in the Middle East, as soon as the State of Israel was declared, millions were forced out of homes and countries that they had lived in for thousands of years. All over the Arab world. We don't think that much about that these days. We hear about, the segregation, the Israeli Palestinians, but we don't hear about the millions, hundreds of thousands of Israelis that were exiled from their homes in dangerous ways. Anyway, yet the end of another era in our ever-changing world. Page 359, Achad Sha'alti, the psalm for this season. Achad Sha'alti me'et Adonai ota avakesh. Achad Sha'alti me'et Adonai ota avakesh. Shivti bevet Adonai kol yemei Lachazot benoam Adonai uvaker behechalo. It's actually 358. Lachazot benoam Adonai uvaker behechalo. Please rise for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon HaKol 282. Latet gedula v'yotzeh breshit shelo asanu kegoye haratzot velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Please be seated. Oh, may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. V'ne'emar v'haya
Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad. Our attention now turns to those who walked before us in life, those we've lost, lived, loved, taught us, raised us, including those who we lost on September 11th. This week, we are marking the yahrzeit of Maurice Brickman, J. Leon Brodsky, David Steingart, Milton Wagodsky, Morris Jibby Welland, and your mom. Her name is, what is it? Toby Rosen. I think we said her name last week, actually, but we say it again this week, Toby Rosen. So if it is a member of your family, some do the week before, some do the week after, it doesn't matter, it's all good. So I invite you to please rise if you are observing a yahrzeit, or it is your custom, or if you're in your year of mourning, or you would just like to rise for those who we lost on September 11th, 20 years ago, page 294, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ul'amei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shmei dekudisha brichu leila leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Hey, Judith, how many years for you? 8. Wow. I know the holidays also meant a lot to him too. Just like Toby, this place meant a lot to her. 19 years? Wow. Please be seated. Tom. Get you. You want to up here? Yeah.
Let's see. We have Yom Kippur coming up, I believe.
Oh, really?
Wednesday night at 6:30, right here. I bet most of these people are going to be here. That's what I think. And more. 6:30 p.m., don't forget. And if you took a paper bag, grocery bag with you on Rosh Hashanah, please bring it back, filled with food. On Yom Kippur, if you haven't taken a bag yet, I think we have one left with your name written on it in the back of the sanctuary. If you are going to be, is anyone going to be watching on YouTube?
No, but maybe the people who are watching on
The
YouTube.
people who are watching, yes. If you're watching, if you'll be watching
They're still with us.
on YouTube. For our services, I have some prayer books at my office, and you're welcome to borrow them. Just get in touch with me. Send an email to tom@betheljc.org, and you can come to my office downtown in Jersey City to pick them up on Monday.
Oh,
Or
and the
Tuesday.
flip book. There's also a link on the
There's-
website to the flip book if you want to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or you can use the CCAR flip book version, which you can reach via a link on the temple website. Let's see, if you're coming to Temple and you haven't already done it, you can download the parking placard that says Observing Holy Day in Temple, and that way you will have a very good chance of not getting a street cleaning ticket, but you still have to observe the other laws. You can't block a sidewalk or somebody's driveway or a fire hydrant. Maura Marion and our faculty team look forward to seeing parents and children at religious school. We've had to push back the opening from September 12th until October 3rd. You'll find the revised calendar for the 2021-22 religious school year posted on the Temple website. Our religious school will follow all Jersey City School and CDC recommended health protocols to ensure safety for the children. Enrollment is continuing, and if you need any information about enrollment or about the classes, please contact Maura Marion at betheljc.org. On September 19th, Sunday, September 19th at 1 p.m., not a Sunday.
No, we've changed the Sukkah building to 9:30.
Oh, Sunday, September 19th?
Yeah.
At 9:30 a.m. We're going to build our sukkah out here in the yard, rain or shine. So please join us for this important mitzvah. And then our Sukkot celebration begins in the sukkah on Monday, September 20th at 7 p.m. and will continue Friday, September 24th at 6:30 p.m. with Shabbat in the sukkah. We'll have Tat Shabbat coming up on Saturday, September 25th at 10:30 a.m. Rabbi, where is Tat Shabbat this time?
In the Sukkah.
In the sukkah, of course it is. In the sukkah. Rabbi Morit's Introduction to Judaism class will begin again Wednesday, October 27th, running for 20 weeks. It will be held on Wednesday evenings, beginning at 7:30 p.m. It's open to all, Jewish or not, couples, singles, seekers. If you are looking for a meaningful adult learning experience and a deeper understanding of Judaism, please email Rabbi Morit or register online.
It's the day before I move.
The day before Rabbi Morit moves.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and I'm sure she promises not to impress you into service helping with her move. Her Introduction to Hebrew class, Hebrew 1, will begin December 1st. And it's a 30-minute class from 7 to 7:30 p.m. running for 13 weeks. We're also announcing a class or a group, Jews of Color and People of Color in the Reform Movement Affinity Space gatherings. These gatherings are led by and for Jews of color and people of color who are Jewish adjacent. Those who are people of color and do not identify as Jewish but are partnered with a Jewish person or part of a Jewish family. You can get information on the weekly and on the Temple website. And don't forget, the Temple Food Pantry continues on Wednesday evenings. We always need volunteers. We need food, but I think after people bring their bags back, their grocery bags full of food at Yom Kippur, those will be the donations that we need. That'll carry us forward for a while, but we always need volunteers. Rabbi?
Oh, I thought you were wrong. Do you make
Ben? Thank you very much for a lovely service tonight.
Close. What?
We had a nice group here. A lot of singing.
Let's do that. I'm sorry?
I said thank you.
Oh, you're
And
welcome.
Take it away.
Just had I thought the mood needs to change from what we had planned. So I'm going to close with the last stanza of Adon Olam. Exactly. The translation is, "In your hands I entrust my spirit, when I sleep and when I wake. In the my spirit, my body also. Adonai is with me, and I shall not fear. Shabbat Shalom. See you on Wednesday. Remember, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And withdraw from caffeine now so you don't get a headache. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom. And thank you, Lauren. Yes, for Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah challah is round. Jewish soul. Yes. There's no beginning and there's no end.
Right.
Where's Ben? Ben. You're good, you're good? Okay. Well, there's more.